Now on Coast TV News.
Car checked, cold coming. We help you get your vehicle ready before we experience freezing conditions.
A pleasant Friday as we await an Arctic front that will send wind chills below zero Saturday morning, setting the stage for a significant winter storm. Updated timing and snowfall totals coming up.
Plus, bracing before big storm. How our first responders are getting ready if they get the call during this projected weather event.
And speech spotlights spending.
I always say that actions speak louder than words.
Why Delaware lawmakers are split on the final year of this General Assembly session following Governor Matt Meyer's State of the State address.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And we begin with a live look at the canal in Lewis. Things are calm there. Nothing out of the ordinary now, but with what is being tracked, that won't be the case later this weekend. It is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us during this 5 o'clock hour.
It is cliche, but it is appropriate. We have that calm before the storm.
And if you're calling this the calm, then what was yesterday?
Yesterday was just delightful,
beautiful
Grace.
Rainbow. It was gorgeous. You said you were enjoying it outside.
I was sitting outside listening to some music, wearing shorts, I might add.
And I don't
Maybe
think
that's
you're
TMI
going to be doing
on that
this weekend.
No. And for more on that, at least for today is concerned, let's get the first alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yeah, let's get right into it. We're still projecting a significant snowstorm coming in early Sunday morning, and this is the latest snowfall projections. A general 3 to 6 inches along the beaches from Rehoboth down through Fenwick Island, Ocean City, down through Snow Hill, Ocean Pines. A good 7 to 10 inches from Lewis through Millsboro, in through Milford, Seaford, Georgetown, Salisbury, in through portions of the mid-shore as we go into the day on Sunday morning. And then we're looking at generally over a foot from Newcastle County on northward. The other concern at this hour is ice. I think we're going to see that precipitation change to sleet and freezing rain and then stay pretty much ice for much of the mid-shore. And then we're looking at a change to just plain rain at the coast. We stay bitterly cold in through Monday as well. Right now we are at 26 in Milford. Temperatures are in the 20s. We await the Arctic front still well off to the west, and we're expecting partly cloudy skies through the day today as we top out around 45 degrees. We'll talk about sub-zero wind chills tonight coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
And ahead of this weekend storm, be sure to download the Coast TV app for your phone and tablet ahead of this weekend. And in case you didn't know, you can also get the Coast TV streaming app for your TV with devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. We'll stream weather updates throughout the weekend, including a special winter storm coverage newscast from our sister station, WBFC, on Sunday morning starting at 8.
Our top story this hour is the lead up to what is likely a major weather event this weekend. And when it comes to your car, the risk of troubles increase when snow and freezing temperatures take effect.
Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in Milton. Elisa, there are a number of ways to prepare before the storm hits.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. We are less than 48 hours out from this expected storm, and we are doing things to prepare. As you can see right here, I've got my snow shovel with me. We also have salt. This is an item that is flying off of the shelves at stores, so make sure you grab some if you have not already. But most importantly, we have also been sure to check our car and make sure it is ready for the snow and cold weather that we are expecting. We did speak with the mechanic about things people can do to take precautions to protect. They said that you want to make sure you are checking your battery, tire treads, and washer fluid. Of course, it's important to note that everyone should be staying off the roads unless they actually have to be driving. This is a great way to prevent emergencies from happening, and it also allows for plows to do their job without worrying about people being in the way. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa. From Milton to Bethany Beach, and the volunteer fire company there is also getting ready for this weekend storm. Deputy Chief Thomas Moore says they feel prepared for whatever the weather may bring. Moore says their plow helps them reach difficult homes in their 15-mile district area. And Moore says with mutual aid, they cover from the Maryland line up to the Indian River Inlet.
Usually what happens is we'll send the plow first and the ambulance will just follow behind.
As long as the electric stays on, we're good.
Emergency crews are making sure they're ready so they don't have to get ready when this storm hits the coast.
Thanks to no, health officials in Dorchester County are advising the best ways to avoid frostbite and hypothermia if you must be outside. According to the county health department, the first layer of clothing should be able to be items that keep you dry. The second layer should be made out of fleece or wool. The agency says the outer layer should be waterproof and wind resistant, ideally with a hood. Dorchester County Health Department says mittens are better than gloves because they allow your fingers to share warmth.
The Wicomico County Health Department is sharing helpful tips for pet owners. The agency says to set up a warm, draft-free space inside that is away from windows and prepare a pet emergency kit. When walking dogs, officials advise watching for shivering or lifting paws. The department says smaller and senior dogs need coats and booties, and to check under car hoods for cats before starting your engines.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer outlined his priorities and highlighted accomplishments during his State of the State address on Thursday. The main topics included affordability, housing, healthcare, and rising energy costs. Meyer also highlighted ongoing efforts in education and economic growth amid federal uncertainty. While the speech aimed to set the tone for the year ahead, lawmakers remain divided on how it will shape the session.
I always say that actions speak louder than words. He tried to connect with families that are struggling, yet we've seen the actions of the majority party and himself raising energy prices, raising taxes on people, raising fees for DELDOT and DENREC.
Especially with federal cuts coming down, ensuring that we keep a AAA bond rating, et cetera, is going to be key to our longevity and something that we're very proud of as Democrats who have been able to weather COVID and now looking to weather the federal administration that is taking the hits at states.
The governor also hinted at his proposed budget, saying he plans to request a 5% increase. That budget is set to be presented next week.
Meyer also took a moment to honor the service and heroism of fallen Delaware State Police Trooper Matthew Ty Snook. Snook was awarded the highest honor in Delaware, the Order of the First State. Trooper Scott Smith was also given the governor's award for heroism and bravery for his actions that day. Snook was shot and killed just 2 days before Christmas at that Wilmington DMV.
New this morning, Lewis Board of Public Works is responding to questions about elevated lead levels found during routine drinking water testing last year. BPW says 10 water samples were collected across the service area in late September. 2 samples exceeded the action level for lead. BPW says property owners were notified within 24 hours of the lab test results. The remaining 8 samples met federal standards. And to learn more about where those elevated levels were found and what Lewis BPW plans to do next, head to the article on our website, coasttv.com.
And we're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Former Special Counsel Jack Smith told the House Judiciary Committee on Thursday that he stands by his decision to bring charges against President Trump in 2023. This is during his first public testimony before Congress.
Republicans say that the probe was politically driven, leading to raised voices and angry clashes. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how lawmakers are divided over the actions of the former special counsel.
Mr. Chairman, in a sometimes combative hearing on Capitol Hill, former special counsel Jack Smith standing by his past investigations into President Trump.
Our investigation developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump engaged in criminal activity.
The 2 federal cases on the president's handling of classified documents and interference in the 2020 election results, both scrapped before he re-entered the White House. But Republican anger over what they believe was unfair targeting continues.
It was always about politics. And to get President Trump, they were willing to do just about anything.
Democrats rejecting that.
For us, it's all about the rule of law. And who's going to stand by the rule of law and who's going to oppose it.
While on social media, President Trump called Smith deranged and said, quote, hopefully the Attorney General is looking at what he's done.
Do you believe that President Trump's Department of Justice will find some way to indict you?
I believe that they will do everything in their power to do that because they've been ordered to by the president.
Smith adding,
I will not be intimidated.
Republicans also accuse Smith of spying on GOP lawmakers for seeking their phone records.
The egregious abuse of power.
Smith said the records that did not include content of calls were necessary to determine the president's contacts during allegations he sought to delay the January 6th election certification.
My office didn't spy on anyone.
Police officers injured defending the Capitol on January 6th were in the room and visibly frustrated throughout the hearing. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening today, the proposed Bellhaven Hotel coming to Rehoboth Beach looks to continue progress towards construction. According to the city, a public hearing will review a request to consolidate several lots into one. City documents say these lots are located on Surf Avenue, Rehoboth Avenue, and Williamton Avenue. And according to the city, the plans were approved with conditions. The hearing takes place today at 1:30 p.m.
And also happening today, Bethany Beach leaders are set to provide several updates at its Stormwater and Flooding Committee meeting. According to the agenda, officials will review a new requirement from DNREC for a shoreline public access plan, which covers public access to the beaches. The Stormwater and Flooding Committee is set to give more updates on the Loop Canal bulkhead project. That committee meeting is today at 2 p.m.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of Coast TV News today.
Yeah, coming up, Salisbury secures more flights. We'll tell you how one airline prepares to expand its offerings.
Also, cold weather on the coast. We'll show you how emergency agencies are preparing.
Still ahead, TikTok determines deal, what this means for the Chinese-owned social media app. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is in the Weather Center. He's been tracking this development of the storm all week, and now the time is almost here. We check in with him next.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. We set the stage for a significant winter storm beginning early Sunday morning. Our early projections show 3 to 6 inches along the beaches, right along the 113 plain. Then we have 7 to 10 inches, including Georgetown, Seaford, Salisbury, out through Cambridge, Easton, and Denton on points north through Kent County, upwards of a foot or more from Newcastle County on northward. Salisbury right now 26 degrees, so it's a chilly start to the day. We're going to have partly cloudy skies through the morning. Temperatures across the area right now are generally in the 20s. We're at 26 in Cambridge, 29 in Ocean City. We are going to be dry today, but all eyes are on an Arctic front that's beginning to push into Ohio and western portions of Pennsylvania. Expect temperatures today generally in the lower to mid 40s. We are going to be bitterly cold tonight in through Saturday morning. I'll have details on how low those wind chills are going to fall and the latest timing for the snow, ice, and rain on Sunday.
Salisbury University will begin the spring semester virtually on Monday, January 26th. That is according to a Facebook post. The university says in-person classes will move to virtual through Friday, January 30th. In-person classes will resume on Monday, February 2nd. Move-in for new students and January orientation will also occur virtually on Saturday. New this morning, people in Berlin will soon have a chance to weigh in on plans for a new bike and pedestrian bridge over Route 113. According to the town, the project is part of the Reconnecting Communities and Neighborhoods grant. Community input meetings are scheduled for February 11th and the 12th, and attendees are able to review and discuss possible bridge locations, including Old Ocean City Boulevard, Bay Street, and Germantown Road.
The U.S. and TikTok company have officially finalized a deal that spins off the app's U.S. assets to a group of American investors. The transaction now wraps up a long process that began with President Donald Trump in his first term. At the time, he vowed the ban of the app over national security concerns, and Thursday's announcement comes just one day before the deadline Trump gave to finalize the deal, which TikTok signed last month. And several airlines are allowing passengers to rebook or cancel flights ahead of this weekend's winter storm prediction for more than half the country. United, Delta, American, and Southwest Airlines are all offering options for customers to change their plans if they were scheduled to travel over the next few days. The carriers also waiving rebooking fees, and as long as the rescheduled travel takes place within a specific amount of days.
This winter's Making headlines through the weekend. We are dry today. Arctic front pushes through tonight, sending sub-zero wind chills into the area through the weekend, and then a significant winter storm. I'll have the latest timing and snowfall amounts coming up.
Time is 5:18, and you're looking live at the bright lights along the canal in Lewis. And in a moment, we will have that QR code on the screen. Use that to get our First Alert Weather app on your phone. You'll need it, Chris, for the upcoming days for sure.
Definitely. We got bitter wind chills coming in tonight, and then Sunday there's going to be a wide range of precipitation across the peninsula, especially as we get into Sunday afternoon. So the latest projections from us show 3 to 6 inches from Rehoboth down through Bethany, Fenwick Island, Ocean City, down through Assateague Island, expecting a brief burst of snow through Sunday morning, and then that mix as that warmer air works in, changing to rain. 7 to 10 inches, Millsboro, Georgetown, Salisbury, down through Cambridge, Nanticoke, up through the mid-shore, and then upwards of a foot north of Kent County. Winter storm watches go into effect Saturday night through Monday afternoon. They encompass the entire peninsula. That snow will break out and come down very quickly into Sunday morning. You see the deep blues here. That is an indicator of an inch to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates. But notice as we go into the afternoon, that warmer air pushes in aloft, about 5,000 feet up in the atmosphere. But notice the pink from Cambridge in through much of the mid-shore into Dover. That's a sign of sleet and freezing rain. And that area does not budge through the afternoon and into the evening. And notice the rain at the coast, but notice that pink, that stays in those areas for most of the day. So what likely is going to happen is we're going to see snow accumulation and then ice accumulation on top of that. So that corridor from Cambridge through Denton in through Dover up along the I-95 corridor, that's an area of concern because we're going to have multiple inches of snow and then almost about a half an inch of ice on top of that snow. So that's a situation that we're going to have to continue to follow here over the next 2 days. 28 right now in Milford. We're at 25 in Millsboro. We have just partly cloudy skies across the area. We are awaiting this Arctic front, and that's unleashing quite an Arctic air mass down on the country. Minus 21, that is a temperature. So that's an idea of the air sinking southward. We're going to top out in the mid to upper 40s this afternoon. We have a cold weather advisory. Now that kicks into effect midnight tonight through 10 a.m. on Saturday. That is for the entire area. Look at these wind chills by Saturday morning, feeling like 5 below in Georgetown, 2 below in Long Neck. Cover any exposed skin, especially if you're out early in the morning. By the afternoon and the evening, feeling like the single digits and wind chills, and we are going to stay dry through Saturday evening. Snow, heavy snow breaks out early Sunday morning. We have the red alert in play. We'll be here all weekend, digital, on air, and on the radio, keeping you up to date and keeping you ahead of every flake and every ice pellet across the area. Now.
Officials in Ocean City say they're ready with buckets of salt, chainsaws to clear roadways in case of branches falling, and they have their cars fueled up. Alexander Bean, a firefighter EMT, I should say, for the department, says it's all hands on deck.
We have upstaffed an additional medic unit and additional personnel on our staff suppression pieces. Additional staffing that has been placed at the station in West Ocean City, Station 5, to provide that service, especially with the bridge closed and limited resource access.
The department has specialized units or suits as well they wear in case someone or something needs help in the water.
The town of Ocean City planning ahead of the storm, sending out a public notice advising people to prepare their homes and their cars before the storm, urging drivers to avoid travel as much as possible and to stay off those icy roads after the storm.
This all brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know what part of winter weather worries you most. Let's take a look at the updated results.
Whew, a lot of people saying power outages coming in at a whopping 66%, Matt. Next, people going for digging out their cars or their homes, and bad roads and cold temps following up. We do have a comment from Dale in Georgetown who says that they're worried about trees falling down. These all seem like pretty valid concerns.
Yeah, that leads into those power outages. I get that one from Dale.
And thank God we can take our problems up with our good friend Chris Mastrobono. He's going to keep us prepared for everything this weekend.
Again, be sure to download the Coast TV app for your phone and tablet ahead of this weekend's storm. You can also get the Coast TV streaming app for your TV with devices like Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV. We will stream weather updates throughout the weekend, including a special winter storm coverage newscast from our sister station, WBOC, and that is Sunday morning starting at 8.
And after the break on Coast TV News today, there's fun to be had this weekend, even with the winter weather that's on its way. Stay tuned for some cool things to do. Flights from Salisbury to Orlando will ramp up just in time for summer. Starting in April, Breeze Airways will offer 3 flights per week. Right now, the airline offers just 2 on Mondays and Fridays. That news, coupled with the ongoing runway expansion project and talks about expanding the airport's parking lot, is why local officials believe the airport is headed in the right direction.
Investment in a jewel like the Salisbury Airport is paying off. There's a reason why Breeze Airways wanted to locate here. There's a reason why American Airlines and Piedmont are going to start flying larger planes and possibly add routes.
Chambers added that more flights per week may only be the beginning of what he calls a promising future at the Salisbury Airport.
We are just 2 days away from our significant winter storm here on Delmarva, expecting a 3 to 6 inch amounts from basically all of the beaches down through Ocean City, Snow Hill, right along the 113 corridor. And then we're looking at 7 to 10 inches from Millsboro, Georgetown, Seaford, Milford, down through Salisbury, and even with ice accumulation on top of that as we get into the height of the storm. And you can see those totals extending through much of the midshore, over a foot from Kent, from northern Kent in through Newcastle County. Currently here in Ocean City, we're at 35 degrees, so it's somewhat of a chilly start out there. Temperatures are going to be rising into the lower to mid 40s through the afternoon under partly cloudy skies, and temperatures are going to be pretty nice, at least ahead of this Arctic front that's going to be pushing through the area as we go into the evening and overnight. Congratulations to Linda Kroger of Georgetown, Delaware on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. I'll have more on our impending significant winter storm in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. New this morning, a lot of events planned for this weekend are now being put on hold thanks to the forecast. I know you're dealing with that.
I know, but as Christina DiRoberta shows us, that doesn't mean you have to sit inside and wait for the snow to stop to have some fun. Here are this week's cool things to do.
So everything I was going to tell you about for cool things this week is now canceled because if you don't know by now, it's going to snow this weekend. So I decided to compile a list of cool things to do in the snow.
First up, build a snowman. It's a classic snow activity. You probably have everything you need already. Some buttons, a carrot, a hat, a scarf, and you don't have to build a giant snowman, just build a little one. Another classic, snow angels. You can also have a friendly snowball fight. Or not friendly, that's up to you. And there's not too many hills here in southern Delaware, but if you find one, you can go sledding. Or you can build an igloo if you're feeling ambitious. It's time-consuming, it's hard work, but everyone will think it's super cool. And if you need any advice, just email Charlie Sakaitis. Rumor has it he once lived in an igloo in Alaska. If you're young and able, shovel your neighbor's driveway. Or watch Coast TV because we'll be out in the snow all weekend.
So if you get bored this weekend and you need a refresher, you can find this list over on coasttv.com under cool things to do.
Now on Coast TV News.
A pleasant Friday as we await an Arctic front that will send wind chills below zero Saturday morning, setting the stage for a significant winter storm. Updated timing and snowfall totals coming up.
Car checked, cold coming. We help you get your vehicle ready before we experience freezing conditions.
Plus, responders ready resources. What prep is underway to ensure can get to an emergency during the weather event.
And tribute to Trooper. How Delaware Governor Matt Meyer honored Corporal Matthew Ty Snook during the State of the State address.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Here's a live look at the early morning scene off of 45th Street in Ocean City in the Isle of White Bay. No snow right now, though by most indications we expect to see snow. Plenty of it. there later this weekend. It's January 23rd, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us on this Friday.
Yeah, we're hitting 5:33 right now. We just saw some of the cool things to do a few moments ago. It's weather like this that usually leads to thoughts of having those warm beverages.
Yes, maybe by the fire,
Oh,
build
yeah.
a nice little fire. You could sit down there with some hot chocolate or a nice hot coffee.
If you don't have a fireplace, you can get on the YouTube. You can have a fake fireplace.
I can guarantee you exactly what Matt Pensick's going to be doing. He's going to be sitting up with his feet, some of his cats around him, with a little light jazz and that fire, the Yule log going on.
The Yule log, yeah.
Oh, sounds like a nice time at the Pensick household.
It's always
Pensick
fun
Palace.
there. Speaking of fun, we got our guy, First
do.
Alert meteorologist Chris Masterbone in the Weather Center. Chris, I don't know if it's fun, but you got a lot going on there. Good morning.
Yeah, this is right up my alley. I love this kind of weather, but I don't know how much sleep I'm going to get this weekend, but as we take a live look at our projected snowfall totals, we're thinking generally about a 3 to 6 inch swath from most of the beaches, right along the 113 Route 50 corridor there down to Snow Hill in Ocean City. Then we expect a change over to rain through the day. 7 to 10 inches, Millsboro, Georgetown, Milford to Seaford, down to Salisbury for much of the mid-shore up through Kent County. Also a concern of ice once the snow changes over to sleet and freezing rain as we go into the day on Sunday. So bitterly cold air is going to be, plowing through the area tonight. Wind chills below zero. We have that winter storm watch that's likely going to be upgraded to a warning, most likely today. That snow will come down at a rate of 1 to 2 inches an hour Sunday morning for everybody. Then we expect that warmer air to filter in, changing the precip to sleet and freezing rain. And I'm also concerned about a period of ice accumulating greater than a quarter of an inch. We could see totals up to a half an inch of ice on top of the snow, and then going to plain rain at the coast. We stay bitterly cold into the day on Monday. 26 right now in Salisbury, so it's a chilly start to our Friday. We're at 25, Milton 26, Georgetown. We're at the freezing mark in Rehoboth. Arctic air barreling towards the east coast and sinking southward through the day today. Now we are going to stay dry, partly cloudy, getting up right to about the mid-40s, so a seasonably cool day as we wait those bitter wind chills that are going to be rolling in tonight. We'll see how low they fall as we go into Saturday, and plus I'll have the latest timing on the snow, ice, and rain into Sunday.
Thank you, Chris. And be sure to download the CoastTV app for your phone or your tablet ahead of this weekend's storm that Chris is forecasting. In case you didn't know, you can also get CoastTV's streaming app for your TV with devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. We'll stream weather updates all throughout the weekend, including a special winter storm coverage newscast from our sister station, WBOC, on Sunday morning that starts at 8.
The risk of car trouble increases when snow and freezing temperatures take effect, which is many people wondering what they can do to prepare for the worst. We did speak with a car mechanic who told us how to prepare for the snow, which included checking your battery, tire treads, and water fluids. But of course, it's most important for people to stay off the roads unless they really need to be driving. It's a great way to prevent emergencies, and it allows plows to do their job effectively without people in their way.
For the most part, people do stay in during the major event. It's when things slow down, the roads start to get cleared out. They do start venturing out because they're bored or just want to go for a ride and see things. That's when our incidents start piling up.
According to Crawl, they are already preparing for a busy day this weekend and expect an increase in calls during the storm.
The Bethany Beach Volunteer Fire Company also getting ready for this weekend's storm. Deputy Chief Thomas Moore says they feel prepared for whatever the weather may bring. Moore says their plows help them reach difficult homes in the 15-mile district area. Moore says with mutual aid, they cover from Maryland Line up to the Indian River Inlet. Emergency crews are making sure they're ready so they don't have to get ready when the storm hits this coast.
New this morning, the Delaware Emergency Management Agency is reminding people to take time to check in on elderly neighbors. The agency says ways people can help are to clear walkways, check heating systems, and make sure emergency contact information is shared. According to DEMA, people can also offer help with groceries or medication if needed. The new overnight, dozens of states are facing weather advisories, watches, or warnings.
And at least 10 have already declared a state of emergency. Reed Binion showing us how parts of the U.S. are preparing to face the brunt of the severe weather ahead.
You think about travel, you think of the dangers outside. This, like you were saying, this is a triple impact.
A menacing storm with a massive footprint is set to hit more than half of the country with a potentially historic blast of ice and snow.
Half the country's population is going to see some sort of winter weather impacts.
Some areas in the storm's path already dealing with crippling conditions. It all starts Friday in the plains, where the storm's massive pool of moist air begins to clash with Arctic air. Bone-chilling temperatures pushing the storm eastward.
We have about 70,000 tons of salt ready to go in our 275 plows.
Major cities in the Northeast could get their largest snowfall in at least 4 years. That includes New York, where officials are mounting a massive battle plan to prepare all 5 boroughs. Southern states are bracing for destructive ice from freezing rain, the storm's most serious threat, one that could cause extended power outages.
It's just entirely premature for them to be able to know how many people will lose power.
Ice could also make roads very hazardous.
Latest forecasts show a widespread event that's likely to spread ice throughout the state of North Carolina.
Air travel will also likely be impacted. Airlines including American, Delta, Southwest, and United have put out travel advisories and are letting customers rebook or cancel travel scheduled over the next several days. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. on this Friday morning. Former special counsel Jack Smith told the House Judiciary Committee on Thursday that he stands by his decision to charge President Trump. This in his first public testimony before Congress about his investigations into President Donald Trump. Some Republicans defeated or repeated Trump's claims that Trump has been unfairly targeted. Democrats supported Smith, pointing to statements from Republican lawmakers in the moments after the January 6, 2021 attack that placed at least some blame, for the riot at Trump's feet.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer outlined his priorities and highlighted accomplishments during a State of the State address on Thursday. Main topics included affordability, housing, health care, and rising energy costs. Meyer also focused on efforts in education and economic growth. And amid federal uncertainty, the governor also hinted at his proposed budget, saying he plans to request a 5% increase. That budget could get presented next week.
The governor also took a moment to honor the service and heroism of fallen trooper Matthew Ty Snook. Snook was awarded the highest honor in Delaware, the First Order of the First State. Trooper Scott Smith was also given the governor's award for heroism and bravery for his actions that day. Snook was shot and killed just 2 days before Christmas at the Williamton DMV.
Happening today, the proposed Belhaven Hotel coming to Rehoboth Beach looks to continue progress towards construction. According to the city, a public hearing will review a request to consolidate several lots into one. City documents say these lots are located on Surf Avenue, Rehoboth Avenue, and Wilmington Avenue. And according to the city, the plans were approved with conditions. The hearing takes place today at 1:30 p.m.
New this morning, the Lewis Board of Public Works is responding to questions about elevated lead levels found during routine drinking water testing last year. BPW says 10 water samples were collected across the service area in late September. 2 samples exceeded the action level for lead. BPW says property owners were notified within 24 hours of the lab results, and the remaining 8 samples all met federal standards.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, UMES storm plans, how the university plans to change class schedules for the next week.
Also, anticipated wrestling match. 2 of the best high school teams in all the Henlopen Conference. They have a duel tonight, and DSN previews Cesar Rodney's upcoming trip to Cape. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. It's been the talk of the town and, well, the talk on the internet as well about our impending significant snowstorm. And that doesn't arrive until Sunday morning. Still expecting a general 3 to 6 inches across most of the beaches, 7 to 10 inches from Georgetown, Milford, Seaford into Salisbury and through all of the mid-shore. Also concerned about ice accumulation on the mid-shore as we go into a Sunday afternoon. We're at 27 right now in Milford. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 20s, 28 in Lewis. Arctic air is barreling towards the east coast and it's still back off across the plains for now. Seasonably cool day across the area, partly cloudy skies. But the temperatures and the wind chills take a big plunge tonight into Saturday morning. I'll have details on how low they fall coming up.
Thank you, Chris. New this morning, University of Maryland Eastern Shore leaders are announcing changes ahead of the expected winter weather this weekend. UMES says all classes for the week of January 26th through January 30th will be held virtually. Residence hall move-ins are being delayed until next weekend, and staff will work remotely during the week. Essential workers will continue their on-campus duties.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
In Lewis, DSN returns to the wrestling mats. We found ourselves in Laurel Wednesday when the Bulldogs squeaked by Woodbridge by 4 and stayed undefeated in the Henlopen South. But tonight it's a duel up north. And of course, you can catch it live on DSN. But why should you tune in? Because last time these two teams played, it was a little unpredictable. Caesar Rodney at home last February. They took down Cape Henlopen for the first time in 4 tries, bucking a trend, 3 straight losses on the mats to the Vikings. And this year, there's a very good chance that CR can start a winning streak against Cape Henlopen because they're 4-1 on the season. And their lone loss, not even to Henlopen competition, it was all the way back in 2025 when Caesar Rodney lost to a behemoth from way up north in Delaware in Silesiana. But it's still been a good season for the Cape Vikings. They're a little more battle-tested against lower Delaware competition in the Henlopen. They are 9-4 on the season. As we said, they're hosting this duel. They've got some phenomenal wrestlers, right? I mean, Austin Guerreri with over 100 career wins, Nick Walker, a War on the Shore champ. It should be must-watch. Have a great day, Delmarva.
And coming up tonight on DSN, as you just saw at 6, Cape hosts Caesar Rodney in wrestling. Then catch the final score at 10:30. Along with that Cape wrestling match, here's what you can watch on DSN Plus. At 4:30 p.m., Indian River faces Sussex Tech in wrestling. And at 5, Middletown visits Appo in girls basketball.
If you're having a rough week, maybe you're not looking forward to the storm, cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Growth on the coast. We know it's a big issue. We have growing pains because everyone wants to live here. But it comes at a cost. Roads, infrastructure, development, a loss of open space, all of that creates conflict and concerns. And Coast TV News has investigated all the deep-seated issues that brought us to where we are today. On February 4th at 7 p.m., join us for a 1-hour special to help you understand the price of paradise, growth on the coast.
No issues this morning. Temperatures in the 20s. In fact, a pleasant seasonable day as we await Arctic air that's going to roll in tonight. Sub-zero wind chills by Saturday morning. And then all eyes are on Sunday. I'll have the latest timing and snowfall totals coming up.
And the time's now 5:50 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Salisbury. I'm joined by the most valuable player, MVP, the man of the hour, Chris Mastrobono. Chris, you are going to be a busy bee this weekend.
Yes, me, Paul, and Bob will be here tracking every minute of this significant winter storm that's set to hit the area early Sunday morning. Now, the latest projections show 3 to 6 inches for all of the Delaware coast down through Ocean City, Assateague, and Chicotee, down through Snow Hill, right along the 113 corridor. Then we're looking at 7 to 10 inches, Millsboro, Georgetown, Milford, Ellendale, Seaford, down through Salisbury, all of the mid-shore. And then we're looking at those higher totals, excess of 12 inches upwards of Newcastle County up through southeastern PA. Also concerned about ice accumulation, especially along the mid-shore. Winter storm watches are in effect for the entire area. These are likely going to be upgraded to warnings later on today. There's the snow plowing into the area early Sunday morning. Now, this snow is going to come down at a rate of about 1 to 2 inches an hour through Sunday morning. And you can see still snowing virtually everywhere by 9 to about midday. Then that warmer air begins to work in off the ocean. You can see some potentially heavier rain by Sunday afternoon along the beaches, but notice the pink holds stationary for most of the day from Cambridge in through most of the midshore into Kent County on northward. That is sleet and freezing rain, and that is not going to be good looking at ice accumulation on top of the snow that has fallen. You can see just plain rain along the beaches and for much of Sussex County in through late Sunday, and then we end as a brief period of snow late Sunday night, and then we're looking at much drier but cold, very cold into early next week. There's a look at that potential ice accumulation from Cambridge right along Route 16 there up through Denton into Dover. Could see upwards of a ½ an inch of ice on top of the multiple inches of snow that we're forecasting. 27 right now in Milford. We are at 25 in Milton, 30 Bethany Beach. We have partly cloudy skies across the area. Kind of an uneventful day for most of the day, but look at this Arctic air mass that is sinking southward, and this is going to help explode this storm system across the plains. 21 is the current temperature in Minneapolis. The wind chill, if you're curious, minus 47. We're going to have a high of 44 Lewis this afternoon, 46 in Georgetown under partly cloudy skies. Cold weather advisory goes into effect midnight through 10 a.m. Saturday. So really the story tonight into Saturday is going to be the bitterly cold air. If you're out early tomorrow morning, cover up any exposed skin because you can see wind chills are well below zero virtually everywhere. Feeling like 5 below in Georgetown, 2 below in Dewey, and then by the afternoon and the evening, only feeling like 9 to 10 degrees. Red alert in play for Sunday. Heavy snow goes over to ice and rain across the area. Could have a few lingering snow showers into Monday, and we stay bitterly cold into early next week with temperatures in the 20s and overnight lows only in the single digits as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. Be sure to download the CoastTV app for your phone and tablet ahead of this weekend storm. In case you didn't know, you can also get the CoastTV streaming app for your TV with devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. We will stream weather updates throughout the weekend, including a special winter storm coverage newscast from our sister station, WBOC, on Sunday morning. That starts at 8.
And the time is now 5:54 a.m. as we check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Wow, look at that one, Grace. Kind of looks familiar.
You know what? That looks like a familiar cat to all of us.
Well, today's coastal pet of the day comes to us from the Brandywine Valley SPCA, as it does every Friday. So on your screen this hour, we have Luke. Luke, as you can see, very handsome, very sweet, loves to get brushed, and making biscuits on his fluffy cat bed. If you want to adopt Luke, Grace, or any other lovable pet, head on over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
Speaking my love language. He's such a handsome guy. We want to see more of your photos of your pets on Delmarva, especially if you go and adopt Luke, because he would be a great addition to your family. Send us a photo of him or your pets and tell us what makes them so special. If you take a look at your screen now.
Yeah, scan that QR code at the top there to get your friend to Coast TV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. We bring back First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Chris, it's back to normal for January temperatures today.
Yeah, no issues today. We're in the 40s, but tonight, tomorrow morning, we go below zero as far as the wind chills, and then this snow rolls in early Sunday morning. 3 to 6 inches for all of the beaches down through Assateague and into Snow Hill with mixing. We have that burst of heavy snow going over to rain, and then we're looking at 7 to 10 inches for the western portion of the county, and also looking at some ice accumulation on top of that snow. We have the red alert in play. Heavy snow breaks out daybreak on Sunday. Few lingering snow showers into Monday, and then behind this storm system it is just downright cold.
Thanks, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, ready to go in the snow. From roads to car prep, how Delmarva is amping up for the forecasted storm. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.